No, mm, just be cutting it. Use the measurement I give to you. So hi people, how are we all doing today? Hope we are fine and we are doing good. So this is one tutorial that I will like us to try. Okay, so I would like anybody going to the ready to wear business. This is one tutorial I would like you to look into. Then one, the reason why I want to make this tutorial is I want to be showing you tips on how you can convert this to a ready to wear design. This is a style that most times you have to measure for the person and to wear it, to use the person's exact measurement. Reason being that these fabrics are not stretchy. But I'm going to be showing you tips in this video how you can convert this to a ready to wear design. You can actually make it for a size 12, and when you take it to the market, a size 10 can comfortably wear it and a size 14 can comfortably wear it. That's the only way you can make sales. Do you understand? So one tactic is, that's why I keep telling people, watch my videos. I keep dropping tips back to back. Like my comment section, like my video and comment in the comment section. Now I'm going to be making a particular viral video of turban, this turban. If you know you need this tutorial for this turban, put it in the comment section. I can actually just make paper illustration back, then later I'll go ahead to make the fabric. All right, so this is a style I will want you to invest in. My name is Chinyere and Alobo, and you're welcome back to Begin Seeing with Chichi, and I wish you a safe journey as you are watching me. So now, first things first, I will have my borderline marked out, right? Now, this neckline is supposed to be very deep. That's where you see the beauty. It's supposed to be very deep. But I'm going to be showing you how someone that does not want cleavage to show can wear the same design, and somebody that wants cleavage to show and someone that does not want cleavage to show can wear this design. I'll be showing you what to do here. Watch this tutorial very carefully. Now, the neckline I'm going to be using for this tutorial, bear in mind that this tutorial is for adult measurement. Yes. What I'll be making now is size 12 can wear comfortably, and a size 10 can wear comfortably, and a size 14 can wear comfortably. But there are some things you need to add, okay, to make that possible. Now, my neck width is 4 inches, and my neck depth is going to be 8 inches. I'm going to be marking it right here. The curving of the neckline you are seeing is going to take 3 inches, and I will come up by 3 inches. Okay, now I'm going to rule. So 8 minus 3 is 5 inches, right? So I'm going to be coming down here by 5 inches. From here, when you will determine the midpoint of this place, from here to here, the midpoint. All right, so this is the midpoint right here. Okay, so from this midpoint, you will go up, use your curve ruler to help you. Okay, and from that midpoint, you start curving out your hand to that 8 inches that you want. Now, your cleavage might end up to be showing here. I will show you tips on how to cover that cleavage. You are going to add it in the package as you are selling it out. Now, my shoulder measurement is 8 inches. Make it 8 inches so that it will size just anybody. Okay, and this is my 8 inches right here. Now I'm going to come down by 1 inch shoulder slant, right? I'll be coming down by 1 inch shoulder slant. Can you see? Now I'm going to mark my armhole. My armhole for this measurement, make it 9 inches for an average adult. And this is my 9 inches right here. Okay, and then you make sure that this 8 inches here is what you still have here, and then you are going to connect your line. Okay, and just coil it out like so. Okay, now I'm going to mark my bust line, okay, which is 10 inches. That's all I need. I'm going to be marking my waistline, which is 16 inches. Can you see? Now I'm going to rule this measurement. Okay, I'm going to rule this measurement. Now, and I'm going to also roll my bust line so I can add my measurement. Okay, make sure your line is straight, and the only way your line will be straight is when you measure from here to here 10 inches, place again and measure from here 10 inches, then connect. Do you understand? So that yours will not be slanting, or your lines must be accurate. Now I'm going to be doing my bust divided by 4 plus 2 inches sewing allowance. If you want, how if you have become a professional, don't make it up to 2 inches allowance, but say plus 1 inch is okay. So bust divided by 4 plus 1 inch, I'm going to mark it right here. Waist divided by 4 plus 1 inch, and I'm going to mark it right here. Can you see? Now I'm going to be connecting like so. Can you see? Now measure my nipple to nipple measurement, which I have 4 inches, and I mark the 4 inches. I also have 4 inches right here again. I mark the 4 inches. The reason being that I want to be able to apply my dart, because for this design the only dart we are using is waist dart. So around this area I'm going to remove 1 inch or 0.75 inches as I like. From here I'm going to also remove 1 inch or 0.75 inches like I like. Now from the bust line, I will come down by 1 inch, and then I will connect like so. Can you see what I just did? Now what I have here is either 1.5 inch or 2 inches, depending on how many I removed here. 0.75 here, 0.75 here, that is 1.5 inch, right? Now you come here and you add that 1.5. But know it that if you remove 1 inch, 1 inch, that means what you are removing here is 2 inches. Do we now understand? Now, for this particular design, I don't want to use just that. Okay, I don't want to use that around this side that. Okay, so I'm going to be leaving it at this. Then I will gradually smooth out my line to come like so. I decided to do it this way so that a lot of people are always very confused. I want you not to be confused anymore. Now, so this is it, right? Like this, we are done with the upper front pattern. I would have loved to come in by ½ inch here, but I will not, because you see that pleating that covered it. What's the essence? Okay, so but if you like, come in by ½ inch, but I just want to go straight out like this. Because the shaping of our armhole is not needed in this design. That's why I said this design is very simple. Now I'm going to cut out. Remember that here is supposed to have 1 inch sewing allowance. So we are going to mark our 1 inch sewing allowance. It's either you cut it here and you apply it on your fabric, or you add it here. So I'm going to be cutting, leaving 1 inch sewing allowance. So this is your pattern for the front. I want to assume that this is my fabric, and I want to cut out this pattern. So when I open up, this is what I have. Can you see what I have? This is very beautiful. So I will set this aside. This is my pattern for the front bodice. Now we are going to go over to the sleeve. Now for the sleeve pattern, I have my borderline. Now I will measure my sleeve cap's height, which for me is 4 inches. Then the sleeve length that I want. Now I want this sleeve to end around here. That is 3/4. But look at that sleeve very well. You will see that there are pleatings on that 3/4, which on that 3/4 I pleated 2 inches each. Now if I measure from here to here and I pleated 2 inches, is that not 6 inches? Let's assume that what I got from here to here is 18 inches. If you add 6 inches to 18 inches, you are going to be having 24 inches. So the full length of my sleeve is 24 inches, and I'm marking it here. That is without sewing allowance. So do you understand? Do you know why I try to explain like this? A lot of people always make mistake calculating their sleeve length from the cap's height. No, that's wrong. Start from the beginning. That is the total sleeve length. Now after you have finished measuring the whole length, just know that 4 inches off from here is your cap's height. Cap's height is that measurement that allows you to move your arms very, very freely. So I'm going to be rolling. I will roll like so. Now, my armhole depth is 9 inches. So I'm going to be marking out 11 inches around here because of sewing allowance. Can you see? Now you are going to use a ruler to connect this place to this place. These are the reasons why I told you that this particular style does not have too much effigy. There is no shape. The only thing that brought out this style is the styles that designs that we're adding are the fabric. The fabric is just beautiful. Okay, so now I'm going to get the midpoint of this my ruling, and the midpoint is somewhere around here. Now I'm going to go up by ½ inch here, and I will come down again by ½ inch here. So all I need to do is follow this line, connect it. Yours will be curvier. Okay, you will have something like this. That's all. Now coming down to the hem area of the sleeve, do not shape out anything, just bring it straight down. Bring it straight down. Can you see why I said the sleeve is the gown is a very simple style, then you cut out. Now on the same sleeve, we are going to open it up. Remember that we said we are going to be marking pleating 6 inches inside on 3 points. Okay, and these are the 3 points. Mark it anyhow you want it to be, and then you pleat 1, and then you pleat 2. So when you fold it this way, this is your style, and then you join here. So when you open up this way, your sleeve is going to be like this by this side. Okay, this is how your sleeve is going to look like. You find out that this side will now be longer than this side. All you need to do again is apply stay here, add your 2 inches allowance, bend it very nicely, and I'm going to be setting this aside. I'm done with the upper bodice, but there is something remaining, and there's a pleat that ran on the shoulder. That pleat was the pleat that covered that armhole. I told you our armhole was not showing. Look at it properly. Can you see this pleat? Now, what am I going to do? I will measure from here to here, which is ×2. Now you are going to measure how wide you want this thing that pleat to be, how wide you want it to be, and I want mine to be 5 inches. 5 inches wide. So I'm going to be having 5 inches into 2 places, which is 10 inches. So the wideness of this my pleat is going to be 10 inches, right? So at the end of the day, I will cut out. Do you understand? So the length is from here, around here to here, and then I will fold very well. Okay, please, before folding, lay your stay inside here. If possible, lay the thick peplum stay inside here, because we want it to do what? To stand. Do you understand? And you're going to be doing it for the 2 sides. Do you understand? Now I'm going to trim out just like so. Okay, now when attaching it, you're going to attach it like so. Here, attach it, let it be slanting. To attach inside here. Okay, attach it from here. Now you're going to stitch it down. Just follow the lines, stitch it down, make sure it gets to the armhole, stitch it, and stitch it all through to the back. Now you will now flip it this way, so it will look like this, and it will fall on the sleeve. Okay, so if you place it like so and you stitch, okay, now you will flip it to fall like so. Now do not stitch it onto the edge of the armhole. Shift it like 1 or 2 inches inside the shoulder slant, so it will just lay like this on the shoulder. You should have something like this, but remember, it came from here, it came from the side. Do you understand? So that is by the way. Now let's go over to the skirt part. Okay, let's go back to the skirt part. It's actually a pencil skirt part, or you can make it an A-line, but I will like to go with pencil. Okay, so now I will mark my borderline as usual. I'm going to measure my horizontal measurement, which is from waist to the hip area. Okay, and from my hip area to the knee line, and from my knee line to the hem area. Now, and I will connect my lines. If you like, add that, but if you don't like, leave it that way, because the dart effect will not really show. But add that to the back pattern. Reason being that the ruffles in front will not allow the dart to show, the dart effect to show. Now, the back must not necessarily carry this design. It's just the front that you need this design. So I'm going to be measuring my waist divided by 4 plus 1 inches or 2 inches allowance, and I mark it. My hip divided by 4 plus 1 inch or 2 inches allowance, and I mark it right here. Now I'm going to bring it down to the knee again, but I'm going to be removing 1 inch or 1.5 inch, and I have something like this, and that's what I'm going to be bringing safely down. Now for this my client to be able to move freely, the back pattern is going to have a slit. Okay, I will mark 5 inches down from the hip, from the waistline, and I have somewhere around here. Okay, now I'm going to slant, I'm going to make slanting marks. There are tips I told you that I'll be showing you on how to make this a ready to wear design. But I have to finish what I am doing now to be able to show you that. Now, I want to assume that this is my fabric, and I place it like so, unfold, and I move this way. Now you're going to give allowance for joining. Now for my clients to be able to move freely, my skirt should have either a slit in front or a slit at the back. Okay, so whichever way you want, but already the front is busy, so I will suggest you put the slit at the back. So I'm going to be removing my pattern, and then I will cut nicely. And remember, after you have you have opened it up, remember that you are going to add sewing allowance to this area. That's what you are going to use and join it. Now look at what I'll be doing. So you are going to pleat it back to 5 inches. Remember that it was 5 inches you slit. You are going to pleat it all back to 5 inches. Now you are going to cut out a plait, a straight band that is equal to that 5 inches. Turn it inside out, iron it properly, and use it to cover this place. To help you to do that, lay hemming gum first here before you place this, okay, and glue it down. Glue the whole fabric down, and then you are going to stitch on the 4 corners, and it will be nicely fixed. Now the next thing for you to do, or whichever way, if I were to be the one to fix it, I will not fix this way. I will prefer to stitch and stitch inside, so that the stitches will be from inside, okay, because you already added 1/2 inch for the sewing. So I will prefer to stitch like so, and also stitch like so, so the stitch will be inside. But for you that your hand is not yet strong, I will prefer that you make this very beautiful and very neat. Cut this into two, turn it inside out, iron properly so that it will be very flat, then use it to cover this place. Do you understand? Now You are going to be creating a band, which is that band you are seeing on the waist. Now, when creating that band, iron a strong stay to it so it will be able to stay. Now, that band you are going to be creating, that band that you are going to be creating is going to lay after you have joined the front and the upper part and the down part. After you have joined it together, now this band is going to be placed like so. Now this band is going to be stitched from here to this side to this side, and this one is going to either have a buckle at the back or is going to be tied at the back. Okay, now when making this particular gown, you when on the back at the back pattern, when making the back pattern, add elastic, okay, so it will be stretchy. Do you understand? Now this band now will cover tightly from the front and should have a buckle at the back, or a button, or a pressing button, or a hook. Do you understand? So the person will now make it, will be the one to place this band very tight on the back and put a hook. There will be a hook here at the back, but stitch it in front to be very tight. Now you are going to leave here to be free for this band. Now it is now the person that will hold the two edge of the band, and you can also make it that the back of the band should now be a rope to be tied. Okay, when it gets there, it should be a rope that the person will tie tightly to tighten his or her waist. Do you understand? But then before that, let the back pattern have elastic. That is number one tip to make it ready to wear. Do you understand? Then number two tip is that this person might end up not liking the down part to be very, this neckline to go deep inside. You will not, there are some people that are like that, they don't want their cleavage showing. Now you are going to cut a triangular piece, turn it inside out, iron it properly, and pack it together with the cloth as you're about to sell. So you are going to apply pressing button by this side and by this side. So the person, if he doesn't want your cleavage to show, when you wear it, just put pressing button. As you are packing it, you are going to be packing this gown with your turban, with this triangular, the triangular fabric that you just iron. As you pack it neatly inside a nylon, the packaging nylon, as you are giving it out to your client. Okay, and this is what is going to make it ready to wear design. So by what I have just shown you, you can either decide to make it size 12, but that size 12 can be worn by size 10, it can be worn by size 14.